classmates, welcome back again to another Explication blog. I am Maggie LaFernie and I'm going to talk about a specific passage in the Canterbury Tales. There's a story that was read in class called The Wife of Bath's Tale. And throughout class we have read about how there have been a lot of discussion about men and women's roles, but about how maybe one time a woman was more dominant over a man, vice versa. But there's actually a specific passage where there's another theme. And this part is when the hag is talking to the husband, and it is around lines 290 and 370. But to first start off, we need to figure out the figurative language before figuring out the underlying meaning. So first of all, there is an allusion to the Poet of Florence on line 269. And then next, there is anaphora 2 times. Poverty is repeated, that phrase. And then the next time a great is repeated towards the end of the passage on lines 340 and 341. The next poetic term is alliteration, repeating gracious God on line 273. And then personification is depicted 2 times. One is when it says implanted by nature, so nature cannot actually implant something. The next is that it is true poverty sings of its own accord, and that poverty cannot actually sing, and it's really saying that poverty is its own agreement and can't be harmonious, and that relates to the underlying meaning. And there is a simile, fire being compared to the men. And then the last is a paradox, in which it's saying contented poverty, so usually poverty isn't known to be content, but it contradicts this sentence. But we're going to talk about the overall connection. So to connect to the real world, I will say is that this story talks about money in relation to relationships in society, and many people question the value of money over happiness in society. Many people think that in order to be happy, you have to have wealth and buy luxuries, but this is not true. When the hag is talking, the hag believes that a faithful and just person will make someone happier. In the real world, people rely on their spouses on money and don't actually take time to focus on the emotional side of the relationship. So now here's like the underlying meaning that the hag wanted to tell the readers and the husband, and it's that even though people are part of a noble family and do things that are evil, it does not mean that they're noble. Many people live a good and pure life not being noble. The experiences that these people live during poverty is what creates them to be humble and other characteristics. Also, the hag says to have me ugly and old until I die and be a faithful, humble wife to you and never to displease you in all my life, or have me young and fair and take your chances on the flocking people to your house because of me. So the hag is trying to contradict the stereotypes of noble people during this time period and wants the husband to see the emotional side of the relationship than the money. So thank you for watching.
Created using Powtoon.